Hey, let me give you something to think about. Have you ever wondered, right, where all these big empires that have many conquests, all that, have you wondered about the carnage they inflicted amongst many people through generations? Have you ever wondered that? Also, have you ever wondered which one of those were like at the very top of that carnage? Were the Roman empires who have mass murdered many people and civilizations? Were the Ottoman empires where they try to expand their religion through conquering other nations, which also inflicted, let's say, cultural differences within their own lands? No. One of the most biggest empires that caused a lot of carnage was the Mongol Empire, an empire that was made out of nomadic tribes that was made up by a warlord named Temujin, who was later known as Genghis Khan, had made up an empire with these nomadic tribes and dispersed all through Asia and caused havoc and expansion of land. In fact, it's a fact. Through all their conquests, they were the largest land-based empire that was connected. It's a crazy thought to think of, right? But the carnage was even more to think about. They've killed so many people trying to get the land. It's estimated 10% of the world's population were dead due to Mongol conquest. 10%. That's a huge number. Huge number. They have many different cruel methods where they did to do all this conquest. But what people don't like to think about Mongols, right? They always think that they're barbaric. But I would like to discuss today about how they brought innovation as well through their conquest. I'm not here to argue if they were good or bad, nothing about that. I'm here to inform you about the innovation they had brought through their existence as an empire entity. There are three things they provided innovation. Innovation such as spreading the innovation, like medical, gunpowder mailing system, etc. There's the cultural tolerance innovation, how they use this cultural innovation that we practice today were inspired by Mongols. And then, the structure of how society is, they brought innovation to it as well, especially for the time where they started off like around the 12th century, 13th century. They brought much change and that is very modern life that is incorporated to today, and they were the originators in a good portion of it. First, let's discuss about spreading the innovation. Obviously, we know how they conquered a lot of nations. One of those conquests was included China, where in China they had many innovations that they didn't share with the whole world. But with their conquest of China, they and through the use of the Silk Trade, the Silk Road, they've used the innovations from China of the mailing system, how to do faster ways to deliver mail by having the mail keeps moving. The system where mail keeps moving was person to person instead of just having one person to send the letter. It's a major innovation of the mailing system that they had brought from conquest. Also, uniting nations, Christian, Europe, usually the European ones, Christian, Muslim, Islamic nations, Chinese, the Chinese, yep, and then use their innovation, spread their innovations across the whole map. It's a crazy thing to think about. And then there's cultural tolerance. In cultural tolerance, the one thing they brought was, in fact, religious freedom, tolerating any way to practice any culture as they please. That's what they did for people that are in their society. They get to practice whatever they want in their culture. They're allowed to believe in what they wish to believe. Which today, we're in America right now. We have freedom of religion. That's inspired from systems like that. The Mongols were one of the very first empires to really incorporate freedom of religion, cultural tolerance, etc. And then there's your meritocracy. Meritocracy is a social structure I was talking about earlier. Where in the meritocracy, it's really about in a society that people get rewards or get higher positions due to ability, not by nobility, nothing. In fact, one of Genghis Khan's one of his best generals was the son of a blacksmith. Other other nations, other empires, even before, even in fact after hundreds of years later, have been rewarded with their positions not by due to ability, but due to nobility, due to family lineage, all of that. But the Mongols were really the first, since it was embedded in their nomadic uh, tribes before, have really embedded this meritocracy into their empire, and it spread widely due to the most of their conquests. A lot of nations started to incorporate meritocracy themselves. And I would like to end off saying that they brought these innovations through their conquests. And that's something that people should know. They shouldn't have any feeling about it. It doesn't matter what they feel about it. It's just something they should know. Instead of discussing about the carnage, they brought innovation. We should always discuss about innovation with the Mongols, because those innovations that we have today, we love them. We love those innovations, and we can really say that the Mongols have a great deal of responsibility of that innovation. Thank you for your time, and I hope you leave today with a good knowledge of Mongol innovation, or at the very least, got to grasp the idea